YouTube, what is going on? It is sandz coming at you with a deeper look into *inFAMOUS Second Son, especially for those of you that may be a little bit on the fence as to whether or not this is a game that you should purchase. So before you guys actually go through and watch the entire review to find out what I have to say, I will say that if you are on the fence, this is pretty much a definitive buy for the PlayStation. The reason for that is that this is the first PlayStation 4 exclusive, and this game really takes advantage of a lot of the visuals and power behind the PlayStation 4. On top of it, the gameplay also incorporates several different ways to use the PlayStation controller, including needing to invert it or shake it so that you can complete certain objectives. So Second Son takes place in Seattle, as is evident by the iconic scenery of the Seattle Space Needle and some of the surrounding districts, and that's kind of how Second Son is broken up. It's actually broken up by districts, and of course these districts don't require any load times. You pretty much just hop from one district to another, and there will be a little notification in the bottom right hand corner that lets you know that you've transitioned. Now, along with this, with the open world concept, I think that what we're going to see from here on out is several games that kind of use this. This is pretty much the standard now. We saw it with Grand Theft Auto, we've seen it with Assassin's Creed. Tomb Raider, of course, is a lot more linear, but I would say that this game is more in line with that type of genre. First, it has the open world, like Grand Theft Auto, and kind of like Assassin's Creed, but it also offers you the ability to kind of climb the buildings and fly around the city, much like Assassin's Creed, but it also has some sort of interactions and side missions, which is very standard. Now, unfortunately, with this game, I found that a lot of those side missions were redundant. They pretty much were the same across district to district, and I find that to be not necessarily appealing. Now, there are some minor glitches with this game where enemies will wall break, or else the character Delson will even wall breaks from time to time. The final issue that I've had with this game is the way that the camera pans. So if you're engaged in a battle with several different officers, or if you're climbing through the trees, then the camera won't necessarily do what you think it's going to do, and it makes it difficult to spot enemies. Now, this can be extremely frustrating if you're taking on half a dozen to a dozen different enemies, and what you're navigating off of is the radar instead of looking at the awesome visuals. Now, everything else about this game really shines for me. The visuals look absolutely stunning, and you can tell that they spent a lot of time making sure that everything runs smoothly as well as looked beautiful. Also, being able to take advantage of strategically placed events during combat allows for a unique fighting experience from scene to scene. Now, this is nice because it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be repetitive, and one thing that I absolutely love doing is being able to go through an event, launch out of the top of a building, and then do a massive power drop onto the enemies below. And then being able to chain several of these things together made for an awesome combo. Again, the only issue with that is that sometimes the camera can be a little bit hard to navigate, and it's a little bit difficult to see exactly what you're doing. So during combat, once an enemy is either drained of enough power or they have no more fight left in them, you have an option to either do a karma takedown or actually kill the enemy instead. Now, these choices basically determine how much karma you're going to have, whether or not you're champion of the people or else just concerned solely about yourself and fucking everything up. For me, I ended up doing the good guy thing, and this is kind of an important decision because the story plays both ways. One, you can interact with civilians. Two, you can interact with the enemy in such ways whether, again, you take them down or else you kill them. And then finally, you have to make decisions within the story that will affect your level of karma as well. This becomes important because the skill tree is directly related to how much karma you have. There will be certain unlocks available for you, whether or not you're a good guy or a bad guy, but other level ups require you to be either inherently bad or else inherently good. For me, that kind of sucks because I wanted to see both sides. I wanted to incorporate some of the bad stuff but also have some of the good stuff, but it looks like you're pretty much restricted. So overall, I absolutely love this game and have had a blast playing it so far. The ability to chain together combos and having fight scenes appear completely differently from the previous ones make it extremely fun, and I think that incorporating the karma tree will make or allow for replayability for when you want to see what some of those other unlocks will do. So the first patch for Second Son came out on launch day, and it actually added about 5 hours of additional content to the game itself, which is considerable. There was some debate, or I guess some people that were saying that they had completed the campaign in about 7 hours, and having no multiplayer aspect made it not seem exactly worth it. But the addition of 5 hours of content is almost a 100% increase, so for me, I would definitely say that that's worth your money. The only thing where I'm drawing pause at that, though, is that I have a feeling that they've just added additional side missions, and I'm not sure if I want to keep on doing a lot of the same repetitive things. Now, if instead they've just expanded on the story and actually have additional things where you have to pick up case files or maybe find out more about the story, then I could see the value of that. The bottom line is that you can tell Sucker Punch put a lot of time into this video game and made sure that it was designed specifically for the PlayStation 4, unlike some of the other launch titles that we've seen that were cross-platform between Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. So if you guys are unsure about whether or not you should pick up this game, the only thing I can say is pick it up. This game is awesome, it has outstanding visuals, and it's a lot of fun to play. So thanks for watching, you guys. I hope you found this video useful. Please subscribe to the channel and give me a like, and I'll keep on producing content. Thanks.